Bully, bully, bully. If you say it three times, the horse from Bully will come and fuck your ass. Bully, bully, bully. The latest album by Kanye West. Mr. West is back, and I can gladly say that yes, I feel like this is Kanye West coming back. After following a long year of consistent delays, this album rollout has really been interesting, full of heartbreaks, full of crying. Kanye West has finally defeated the aliens and taken back the record and did drop it on Saturday of March 28th. I'm checking the date and I was right. Like I was saying though, this album has been followed with many irritations, but also controversies. No surprise to Kanye himself, but yeah, a lot of this record was very confusing at times, and of course, we did get the five lead singles to the record. But there was also the speculation of were there going to be certain tracks from of 2024, some of those tracks being WW3, were any of those very out there songs going to be on this record? Luckily, though, this is a completely clean record in the sense of there is none of that in this. Unlike something shit from Vultures 2, this is a record following a completely different new path, and actually not even a new path, but more of the similar path we were seeing in Donda and all of his earlier work. The setting, the theme of this record is very much in the basis of religion. You could definitely get those aspects in tracks like Father, Brother and Sister, and Mama's Best. This music video for Father is set in a church. You can definitely hear a lot of these choirs and a lot of these intro and outro moments where they're definitely talking about praising the Lord and how Kanye is definitely wrong on the moral ground of looking for the path of righteousness and forgiveness. The record itself does an excellent job in portraying a lot of these elements, despite of how short a lot of these tracks can really be. It does a great job in showing where Kanye is right now in his life, but also going in his life. So when it comes to length of these tracks, say goodbye to the day of the longer graded tracks that we used to love, because a lot of these tracks are going to be 90 seconds to 2 minutes. So there are only like two, three tracks here that are 3 minutes and a little bit higher. So when it comes to expectations of delivery or in the sense of entertainment, they are going to be very, very well shortened. A lot of these tracks also contain like barely any content in the sense of you have the chorus, and then that's the chorus, and then that's that times three. So a lot of these tracks that are very short are highs and lows, circles, damn, Beauty and the Beast. These are tracks that are just very cut and dry. What you see is literally all you're getting. But there's also tracks that, even though are 90 seconds long, they still contain a lot of good, lengthy bars in there that definitely just eat up the whole song. And that's where we can also find a lot of Kanye's great delivery. So when it comes to Kanye rapping, this is the first time in years I've actually heard a Kanye song that actually contains good, well written lyrics of rapping. Some of these tracks are definitely going to be this a must. I did enjoy King personally. And when it comes to not even the rapping sense, but the singing and the vocalization, you could definitely see how well Kanye is still producing like tracks and music as a whole in tracks like this. The track All the Love is a great example of that. When it comes to the production of the record, the production is very good, but also very simple at times. Of course, with these lower length tracks, you're not going to get a lot of groundbreaking, revolutionary production. A lot of this production is highlighted in, again, All the Love. You can definitely feel it in a lot of the singles as well. There are these great buzzing kind of production beats found in King and Brothers and Sisters. Definitely, when you listen to the singles back in 2025, they were shown as very simple and very easy to listen and follow tracks, and that very well sits with the rest of the record. So if you are expecting this groundbreaking revolutionary project for years in the making or years in the wait at least, this is definitely not that kind of record. I feel like in the end of the day, Kanye has gone through so much in his career in this decade as well that I feel like there's more of a stepping stone or more of a grasp at who I am once again instead of getting into the whole runaway kind of production and huge monumental project that was. So overall, if you were expecting much, it's going to potentially be very well underwhelming and very well disappointing in some sorts. But as someone who has listened to the singles almost every single day since they came out for the preparation of this record, I pretty much understood what I was going into. But still, in the end, it is still very kind of disappointing to see that there's 18 tracks and how we're barely getting much for 18 tracks. Now, with this being the ultimate mastered cut of Bully, Bully did have an original first pressing format of itself with only 13 tracks. And when I do say the 5 original singles, one of them was completely cut. And these 5 original singles were Preacher Man, Beauty and the Beast, Damn, Losing My Mind, and Last Breath. Losing My Mind did get cut from this record, and when it comes to the first pressing track list, there is Losing My Mind and Mission Control, so I have no clue what that track sounds like. But when it comes to the mastering of these other 4 singles, they are definitely changed for the best. Now, when I was listening to the 4 singles beforehand, they were very simplistic and they were very, in a way, you could say bland. Even though, yes, it wasn't the greatest music revolutionary moment, it was still very well passable. Now, when it comes to the changes of these tracks, Damn and Beauty and the Beast, there we go. Had a complete fucking pause moment. But Damn and Beauty and the Beast both received production changes where by the time you get to the second chorus of Damn, you will get this beautiful fucking like astral change in the production, which definitely elevates the experience, but nothing more changes from that. When it comes to Beauty and the Beast did receive a almost in a way a higher pitched and more reformed production quality to it. So it definitely feels a lot more of its own flavor than more of the basic you got from the original in 2025. When it comes to Preacher Man is pretty much the exact same track, except by the time you get to the first chorus and then everything since then, it is going to feel almost like Kanye is in the room with you. The vocals are so raw, so good, so vibrant that it really kills any allegation of this record was made with AI. And lastly, Last Breath. This is probably the one track that received the most changes to itself. This track definitely got a new sound of production that really brings out more of the Hispanic culture that Kanye was trying to go for in the original sounding, instead of it feeling more dark and depressing and gray in the single format. In the album format, it is filled with more lively, more color in a way. It just feels so much more of a bright and enjoyable world instead of what we were getting in the single. There is a featured artist on this record as well, taken in places that Kanye was singing beforehand. The artist is Pesa Pluma. I might be saying that entirely wrong. Going on to other featuring artists though, Travis Scott and Don Toliver are your big names on this record. And to say what they do, they're there. That's pretty much it. For Travis Scott, he's on Father. Don Toliver's on Circles, and Circles is one of those like quick, easy done tracks. You almost forget that it played for a second. Don Toliver does the verses, and then Kanye does the chorus, which is just saying "circle" 8 times. And then when it comes to Travis, he just does the other half of Father and kind of does repeat some of the things Kanye said, but that's pretty much it. Ty Dolla $ign was you could definitely hear his vocals on this record, which made me wonder if some of these tracks were meant for Vultures 3. But because of everything, I don't think we're ever going to be seeing the light of day of Vultures 3. So this is the best we're going to be getting for that to any. The shit. So overall, Bully, as much as it was irritating to see that fucking timer go down and then go right back up months later, it always was a heart aching fucking moment. But at the same time, it was fun as hell just to go, well, what do you expect? It's Kanye. In the end, this record was still very enjoyable and still was a highlight moment for me. I don't think there was any big flaws with the record besides, of course, being kind of underwhelming at times with it just being very quick. This record is 46 minutes, but to me, it feels like it goes by in 20. I've listened to the record numerous times and have very well to grown appreciative a lot of these smaller moments with the record. There are moments I just don't really care for, like White Lines, I Can't Wait, and Highs and Lows. These are tracks that kind of do stall out for me, but every track going on from every point just feels fucking amazing, feels beautiful to listen to. I do feel though a lot of these tracks could have just been connected together. For example, King and Must Must of This a Must. This a Must. I feel like those tracks could have maybe been connected together as they do kind of flow into each other very nicely. There are some of those moments that these tracks are just going to been put into one or just been more drawn out, but at the same time, though, it's not my vision for what Bully is supposed to be. And so overall, I would probably give this record maybe around a 7 on the dinner score. But overall, the record is a fun time, enjoyable time. And I personally cannot wait to see how this step for Kanye really changes how he makes music from now on. It's very interesting. It's very exciting to see what can we get more after Bully or more for this era. Kanye is going on tour soon, so who knows? We'll see what we can get. But overall, that's it's pretty much Bully about fucking time. And Bully, Bully, Bully. The horse is coming to fondle. Didn't rhyme. All right, but that's all I got. See ya. Good night.